We're on. Welcome to the CCO Pre-Show for episode, I'm going to look this time, 431.
431?
431.
Holy shit.
Yes, we're here. We're brought to you in the damn Legion of Doom room.
That's right.
By the wonderful patrons over at patreon.com/CCO Podcast.
Whether they like it or not.
They do. We've got a returner, we've got an increaser, and we've got a new...
Holy wow.
Yeah, so big thanks to the patrons who are coming through clutch when it counts, I guess. We're upgrading the studio. We're making the pre-show longer. We're doing everything to make it the best it can be.
Yes.
I told Uncle Brando, this is what I says.
Okay.
I says, we're moving to the new studio.
Yep.
And I've been busy doing a bunch of work with producer Gary.
Has been.
Yeah, I says that. And I says to him, I say, I'm gonna need you to be like head of podcasting operations.
Yeah.
I didn't say that exactly. I just made that up, but...
Yeah.
But I says that to Brando, and he comes through clutch when it counts too.
Now look at me go.
Yeah, you put together the show today. We got to do the hints, booster pack him.
But everybody knows we told them who we're going to do on the end of last show.
Yeah. Okay. I got an idea. But that all said, you're going to be the guy that's maybe over the next few weeks or month or whatever, or forever, the guy that is putting together podcast lineups or deck list lineups. So if you're a patron, you're in the Discord, we got the main channel, right, that you go in, but we got a couple deck building channels for casual decks, competitive decks, preferred deck lists, and of course, Commander Cookout at gmail.com.
Yes.
You tag Uncle Brando in there.
Yes.
CCO Brando. And get your deck featured.
Yep. And I'm not going to see it if you don't. So
this is true.
Tag me.
Yeah. Very true. He's not going to see it. And is Twitter a good place to submit decks? Not really, hey, because we can't categorize them.
Correct.
We've only been saying that for 7 years, but we still get people on Twitter, at least I do. Hey, where do I send this deck?
Yeah.
If you're in the Discord, put it in there. Or commandercookout at gmail.com.
Yes.
We had to make sure that was very explicitly clear.
Ooh, explicit.
Oh, yeah.
Content warning. Yes.
Yeah. CC only fans. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we got last week's winner. Somebody actually guessed Simulacrum Synthesizer.
Of course they did.
Oh, the big electrical ball.
That's a good card.
The electrical ball.
And it makes 3 drop mana rocks.
Yep.
Badass. Because they make Karnstructs. It's a good card.
Yeah. How many times have you lost to a Karnstruct?
More than I'd like to admit. It's like, it's just a little token creature, whatever. I'll swing at you for 52.
Or in Urza decks when they all have Vigilance and there's like 6 of them.
Yeah.
And they're all 11/11s.
Yep.
And even if I'm at like 100 life or whatever in my Archimandrite deck, it's still like, oh, you got any blockers? Kill you? Fuck you. That's how it works. Oh, because they all get Menace too.
Yeah.
Man, that's a good deck, hey? You think that's the best precon ever? The Urza deck?
Yeah.
What do you think the best precon is?
I don't know. I don't think it's that one, though. Not that one.
What would you say is also in contention or in the runnings for very good or potentially best precon ever?
Captain Nagathrod.
Oh, yeah, the horror one.
Yeah.
What does he do again? He mills me or can cast stuff out of my graveyard?
Yes.
That's what he does?
Yes.
Alexi plays that, hey?
Yeah, it's an unaltered precon, and you can just take down games with that deck. It's crazy good.
Yeah, that one's good. And
that's like out of the box just by itself, and the deck itself can win without Nagathrod.
Yeah.
That's why it's so good.
Nagathrod, Urza, man. Great TV, boys. Thinking on the fly, hey? I don't know.
I wasn't prepared for that question.
Yeah, no, I didn't even have that. No.
What about the worst one? What's the worst one ever?
Oh, probably something from... You think it's something from 2011, or do you think it's something like modern?
I think it's the Sliver one.
You think that one's that bad?
I do.
It's missing one card that you said should be in there, and that's like grounds for making it the worst ever.
But now that I've actually played it a couple of times, it sucks.
You own it?
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
Of course you do.
Yeah. It's actively not very good. That's how you can enter to win the booster pack game today. What's the worst pre-con ever.
There you go.
And why?
That's why we pay him the big bucks, folks.
Yeah, you have to say why.
Worst pre-con and why. In the comments on YouTube. Look at us being YouTubers. Hey, and here's a second maybe way to enter, but just give us your opinion on this in the comments or on Twitter or on Discord or wherever you talk to us, because we talk to lots of people all the time.
Yep.
People have been suggesting that we make the pre-show a little bit longer because they like the banter. And generally, it's 6, 8, 10 minutes. What if we made it like 10 or 15 minutes and made it its own audio-only podcast about like Magic the Gathering and people who bike to work or drive, like you got a 15-minute commute, like those exist.
Well, for us it does.
I suppose, yeah.
We can get all the way across the city in 15 minutes.
Yeah, I suppose we can. We are the minority, though, certainly.
Yeah.
If you want that, let us know, because in the new studio, it's easy and it sounds good and it looks good. And if you want the longer pre-show in audio format, we can make that work each week. And you can watch on YouTube, which you should be, or you can listen on wherever you listen.
You know what else people asked for?
If
we preview the deck we're going to talk about tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Which makes it weird, because we're supposed to get people to guess the commander, and then if we talk about the deck, then we have to think of a different thing for people to guess.
Oh, yeah.
Which makes way more work for us, but I think that's fine.
We got to be we got to up our creative ambiguity.
Shit.
Yeah. Well, everybody knows we're doing Obeka tomorrow.
Yeah, Obeka Splitter of Seconds.
Oh, not what I thought you were going to say. Is that what it's called?
I think so. That's what I've been calling her this whole time, so I hope that's the name.
Sure.
Yeah, I tell her that. I'll tell her.
We got to suggest something like, okay, if they know who it's going to be, it's got to be like, what kind of Obeka deck are we doing? Or what sort of spell? Remember what we were talking about? Yeah. What sort of spell got way better when Obeka like became a thing,
well,
right?
We're going to talk about a bunch of those
because
tomorrow.
Those cards, and we used to play with these cards like in 2007 and 8 and want them to be good.
And now they still aren't very good, but we're going to try hard again.
We're going to be Magic tryhards?
We are.
Oh,
the thing I like about this deck so much is it's got the Obeka deck, which I'm going to define here in a minute.
Yes.
Because you were asking me about it.
Here or over there?
Right here.
Okay.
I'm going to do it right here.
Okay, but tease the deck.
Yeah, but the rest of the deck, I really like that it's got a lot of the stuff that people are going to... It does the Obeka thing that everybody thinks about when it's, okay, it's an Obeka deck.
Yeah.
But
what is that thing, though? Because that's not a thing. Then nobody thinks like, oh, yeah, it's going to be...
Thrones. Not thrones.
Courts.
That's the Obeka deck. It's courts.
But why is that? They're just an upkeep trigger. If you're the Monarch, it's like...
You will be the Monarch because you're going to attack with her first, because that's how the deck works.
Okay.
So you'll always be the Monarch. And... whenever you hit somebody with Obeka, you're not going to hit him for 2. You're going to hit him for 4 or for 5. And if you can make somebody take 8 5 times, that kills them.
Oh.
If you can mill all of your opponents for 50 twice, you've won the game.
Oh, nice. Speaking my language.
Right? Like, that's what the courts do. They're so good that they just should be in Obeka decks. Because
I think
that's kind of... There's other ways to build her, of course. Of course there is.
Are you relying on multiple combats? Or are you relying on...
That's one combat, my dude.
Or pumping up, like to boost her power. Because when she hits you, you get extra upkeeps equal to the number of damage she does. And she's a 2/5, right?
Right.
Or 2 power, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So if we make her a 5/5, you get 5 upkeeps?
Yep.
Ooh. Wow.
Right?
She's like a kill on sight if she has haste.
Correct. And there's lots of equipments that give haste. My man...
And kill the Lightning Greaves and the Swiftfoot Boots like as soon as you see them. Because if you go Obeka, equip, it could be over, right?
Correct.
And she costs 5 to cast?
4.
Grixis and 1.
Yep. She has to swing 1 time, and you can kill...
You could potentially kill.
Everybody or at least one person. You kill the one person that's going to kill her. So the deck is essentially... The deck, the air quotes deck, is going to be 6 courts... Aggravated Assault.
Don't spoil that other card type though. What we're talking about. Don't spoil that.
Well, that's not in the deck.
Oh, that's in the deck we're doing tomorrow. Because who are we to do an actual good deck?
Well, when you talk about the Obeka deck, that's like it's the core, like the deck. That the deck that you built. The 100 cards is an apple with the side, but the core of the deck that you know is inside the apple.
Some people
is 6 shrines and aggravated assault,
courts,
and and rousing refrain, and like those are just gonna be in Obeka decks because games got to end.
2 things. Do you think I got this?
Sure.
One person in CCO Nation did send us obekashrines.deck.
Yes.
So you did have that on the brain.
Yes.
The other thing is some people call it, instead of a core, they call it a shell.
Yes.
Which is the same concept. Instead of building out from a core, you're building in because you have like this lattice or shell to build within.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of Obekas are going to be, much like Norin. Like if you're going to play Norin the Wary, you're going to have perf. You're going to have impact.
All the ETB effects.
Right?
Yeah.
That's just, it's what you do, or your deck, not optimized, but your deck isn't really taking advantage of the commander you've chosen.
Yeah, then it could be any Grixis deck or any mono red deck in Norin's case.
Precisely. Yeah. So this is going to do what she does. Plus, it really leans into some of the other cool stuff.
Yep.
Like there's some things that I hadn't really thought about, but then when I read them in the deck list we're going to do, I was like, oh my God, this does work.
Yeah.
It's still bad, but it does work.
Yeah.
It's super bad, but
I'm gonna take the opposite line, or a different trajectory on tomorrow's thing. You're talking about the deck.
Yep.
I want to think about or approach the list that we're doing, Obeka in general, and what she can do from almost like an Atraxa or Animar standpoint, where it's like Atraxa life gain, Atraxa Angels, Atraxa Phyrexians, Atraxa Proliferate, Atraxa Infect, or
Atraxa Stacks, Atraxa Super Friends, Atraxa Aggro, Atraxa Voltron.
Or Animar Clones, Animar Hydras, Animar CEDH. There are certain commanders that have just so many build paths, not because they're open-ended and do anything, though Atraxa is like that.
Yes.
But because Magic gives us kind of a rule set to operate on all of these different trajectories, and that's what Animar does. I think that's what Obeka is going to be.
You think?
We're going to see Obeka combats. We're going to see Obeka pump. We're going to see Obeka mill or upkeep combo. Like, we're going to see a bunch of different things like we do for Animar, I think, with Obeka.
See, I don't know we are. I don't
think so?
I don't think we are.
Okay.
Because when you actually look at the list of what happens in an upkeep, lots of them are good.
Yep.
But are they that good you want to lean super heavy on them? There's a couple of cards that are missing from the deck list we're going to talk about tomorrow that I'm so excited to play in mine. Because they're such bad cards that are so good now.
I saw a couple in the deck list that I think are going to be not actually very good includes. Like I don't think they're going to be good.
No, oh yeah, certainly not.
Okay, so we've got some includes, we've got some secret kind of stuff we're talking about. We've got some stuff that you're going to talk about adding.
Yep.
Some stuff I'm going to talk about subtract.
Cutting.
I'm going to cut this show short with my ability to speak. How are we doing on time there, producer Gary? 12 minutes, boys, is what he said. I don't know if anybody heard that, but
we did it.
You're Brando. You're here with Ryan. We're talking Obeka.
We're going to talk about the Obeka deck.
Okay.
Obeka Beats, I believe the deck is called.
It is.
Obetsa.
We got to get it, though. Splitter of Seconds. Look at you go. That is very dirty.
And it could be either the second, like the increment of time, or it could be the second, like your manager. Because she's like, when you're going to the ring, you have your second.
Yes.
And Obeka is just going to split them. How is she going to split them? You shouldn't Google that, because
this is where we could be getting into the dirty. I was thinking splitter of seconds, like you're hungry at Thanksgiving and you want to go get seconds,
but you only get a little bit,
and
of
then
it?
you only get half a seconds to make more room for apple pie.
See, I was thinking because she punches time to do stuff to it. I don't know how that works, and I don't care. But if she's going to split a second, like a manager, a Sherry Martell, if you will.
Yes, Paul Heyman, if you will.
She's going to use her fist.
Yes. I'm going to use my fist, and I'm going to cut a slice of pie out, and I'm going to punch that slice of pie out, like on the cartoons, and take the rest of the pie. You know, like they take the one slice out, and you think, oh, they're going to take a slice of pie, and it's the whole cake or the whole pie.
Yes.
That's what I'm doing with Obeka. That's what she's doing.
Correct.
Okay. 4:31. You're Brando. You're here with Ryan. We're in the damn studio. Hit our theme song.
See ya.